Am I seeing correctly? What the heck just happened? One shot every single boss in Borderlands 3 or any enemy that comes your way, whether it be in Mayhem 3, Proving Grounds, or Circle of Slaughters. Well, today I'm going to share with you guys my Moze one-shot build. And no, this is not clickbait. It actually one-shots. Esiva, this is LaserBolt, and welcome to today's video, guys. Boy, am I excited to share this video with you guys because I know a lot of you guys have been asking me, Laser, can you make some one-shot builds? And we are currently working on them. Right now, we have 2 on the works, plus this one right here. In addition to that, guys, I have seen other builds where people say it's one-shot, but it's not one-shot. They just like spam their gun and it looks like it's a one-shot, but it really isn't. This is actually a one-shot. You guys are noticing right here, we're just putting one shot on the boss and it's automatically going down. But even to prove this a little bit further, the gameplay you're watching right now, this is on Proving Grounds, Mayhem 3, supposed to be the most difficult content in the game. I am one-shotting everything. Now, everything that comes my way. Now, you're able to do this with any particular gun. I'm going to be showing you guys how the build works, what you're going to need in order to get this to be functioning for you and for your Moze. Now, before we dive into the build, I do want to remind you guys about our giveaway. We're giving away 2 free copies of Shadowkeep for the system of your choice. To enter and participate, it's super easy. All you have to do is click the link down below where it says Join Bull Nation, and you guys will be automatically entered. So good luck to everyone who plans on participating. Now, the giveaways weren't enough. We also have exclusive features only found on the channel, like these amazing emotes and the LaserBolt badge that you're able to use throughout whole YouTube, plus new exclusive features that we'll be adding here on the channel. So do consider joining. I want to give a massive shout out and thank you to everyone who has already joined. Thank you guys for your support and helping us keep the dream alive. Now, as a friendly reminder, if you want to see how builds are made or just want to chill and have some fun, check us out over on Mixer. We stream very frequently, so make sure you guys stop by and check us out and hit us with that follow. All right, so I know what you guys are thinking is like, Laser, can we please see this build? Oh my goodness, you're one-shotting every single enemy. How the heck is this happening? Well, let's dive into the build, and then we're going to talk about certain things that you're going to need that are requirements to actually get this optimized and get this working the same way I have it working. So let's jump onto the first skill tree, which is going to be our bottomless mag tree. Now, this one, the only reason we're actually using this is to have infinite ammo. It's not necessary, but I like the way it's set up. So we're going to start off with the first one, and we're going to max out the following called Cloud of Lead, which allows Iron Bear and Moze to deal additional incendiary damage without consuming ammo. Really cool. Then if we go down to the second row, we're going to do Stock the Embers, increases Moze and Iron Bear's incendiary damage, which is really cool depending on the weapon we have. Then we're going to go on with the following, which is called Redistribution. After Moze scores a critical hit, she regenerates ammo for a few seconds. Another really good one because, you know, we're going to be getting that ammo very fast. Then we're going to go with Scrappy. While moving, Moze handling, weapon swap, and switch speed are increased. Really cool. We're going to max that out as well. Then we're going to go with row number 3, Scorching RPM. Moze gains increased fire rate and critical hit damage. Now here you'll see the little synergy that we have going with the crit hit. We get a crit hit, we get our ammo back. We get a crit hit, our crit hit damage gets increased, which is really cool. Then we go down the line and we're going to go with the Iron Bank, increase Moze magazine size. That's going to give us a plus 35. Once again, going back down, we're going to go with Click Click. Moze gains increased gun damage as her magazine empties. The less ammo there is remaining, the greater the increase. Now, if she's running a Cove weapon, she's going to get increased gun damage as her weapon overheats. I will have a video going over the best weapons for Moze, so you guys are definitely going to want to check that out once that video's out. And the last one we're going to be putting some points into is Forge. Moze constantly regenerates ammo for the current weapon equipped. And that's all the stuff we're going to be getting from the bottomless mag, but we're also going to be tapping into the other tree, which is Shield of Retribution. And here is where the magic is going to happen. All right, so here's where we got to pay close attention because this is going to be dependent on your class mod, and I'm going to explain how all of this works. So for right now, I'm only going to be mentioning the points that are actually going to be placed in, not the ones that are going to be dependent on your class mod. So let's start off with the first one. We're going to go with Selfish Vengeance. We're going to put 4 on these. Whenever Moze reloads, she loses a small portion of her health and grants additional incendiary damage. This is just for damage that we're trying to get from within this build. Then we go to the second one, which is Armored Infantry. While Moze's shields are active, she gains damage reduction and increased gun damage. This is extremely, extremely important and one of the key notes to actually making this build work. This is definitely one that you want to make sure you keep in mind on and understand what it actually does. Now we're going to go jump onto row number 2 and then go Thin Red Line. A portion of Moze's health is reserved and cannot be restored, but her maximum shield is increased by the same amount. Another one that's super important, that's why we're only dumping 1 point to this, and you'll understand why once we continue with the build and also the stuff that's required to actually make this happen. Then we're going to go with Blast of Ingenuity. Moze's max shield is increased and she gains resistance to shock damage. This is super important because this is actually going to help us stack whenever we want to stack our shield to apply more damage. So you're going to understand that once I explain it further along in the video. Then we're going to be dumping 1 point into experimental munition. Whenever Moze scores a critical hit, she deals bonus incendiary damage. Remember, on the other tree, we're stacking 2 things that do crit hit damage, so it's going to give us a nice little buff when we're getting those crit hits. Then we're going to jump to the 4th row, and this is where we're going to find behind the Iron Curtain. Moze's shield recharge delay is reduced, and her shield recharge rate is increased. Once again, extremely important, this synergy that we have with the shield. This is one that's going to help us get all of this completed. Then we're going to go to Desperate Measures. Now, this one in particular, guys, this is all going to be dependent on how many points you dump on this one on your class mod. And we'll talk about it once we get done here. But Moze's gun damage is increased depending on how low her health is. The lower her health, the greater the increase. This is going to be extremely important for this particular build, and this is going to kind of be determined how many points you dump here depending on the class mod you have. Then we're going to go with Flanix Doctrine. Your class mod will automatically unlock this for you and put a point on this, so we're not going to be putting any points to this one because we should technically be getting 1 point from our class mod. And then the last one we're going to do, it's called Force Feedback. Whenever Moze scores a critical kill, her shield immediately begins recharging. Super duper important, the Force Feedback, due to the fact that this is going to make our synergy work perfect and allow us to get unlimited damage and unlimited shields. Alright, so let's talk about the things that are required to make this build work, and we're going to get started with the class mod. Now, for the class mod, you're looking for Desperate Enhance Bloodletter. Now, what this is going to allow you to do is that it's going to give you 3 attributes towards your orange tree. Now, what makes this even more interesting is that it gives you buffs to the current meta that we want to obtain from the build. Now, what makes this class mod work with the synergy that we're trying to get is the following. It says, if Moze would be healed, she gains shields instead. If she would regenerate health, she also gains shield regeneration. As you guys see, the main point of this class mod is to give you a ton of shield back. This is why we put in the title Unlimited Shields or Infinite Shields, because you're going to be constantly getting your shields back super duper fast. In addition to that, this one drops with a plus 31 action skill cooldown rate, so you could use your Iron Bear if you want. You have a plus 50 theater weapon accuracy and a plus 31 heavy weapon damage. Now, theoretically, I would wish that I had different stats, like maybe more shotgun damage, more magazine size, something more different. But ideally, what you're looking for here when you're trying to get this class mod is that you get the Thin Red Line additional perk, that you also get the Desperate Measure perk, and that you also get the Flanix Doctrine perk. Those are the ones you want to make sure that you drop. Now, as far as the benefits for the class mod, those could be anything, but you want to make sure you get those 3 abilities within the class mod. That is going to be a requirement. After this one, you can definitely just farm to see if you can get one with better attributes. I have this other one that's actually pretty good attribute as well. I do go up in some and I go down in another one, and I also have another one that just comes with 2 stats. So you want to make sure that you're constantly checking to see which one you want. You want the one with the 3 stats. That's going to be your #1 priority. So make sure you guys are constantly checking to see which one drops. So that was #1 requirement. For requirement #2, you're going to be looking for a shield called Brawler. Now, this is going to be very interesting because this one drops very frequently when you guys are killing the boss that you guys saw I killed earlier, which is the one in Eden 6. You want to make sure you kill him repetitively so you could get a ton of shields back. Now, one tip I could give you guys if you want to get more legendaries is play offline. Because the patch for the legendary patch won't apply if you're playing offline. So you'll get more legendaries if you do play online. That's just a little helpful tip if you're trying to farm and get more legendaries fairly easily, and you're trying to find for this brawler reward, or you can do Chupacabra. That one works as well. But if you already have it, you're good to go. Basically, what this is going to allow you to do, it's going to increase your weapon damage plus 25%. I have seen one that drops with 35%. I still haven't been able to get that one. And the way this works is that when your shield is depleted, you're going to be getting this bonus. So you're going to be getting the plus 25. Then you get a plus 300 melee damage. So you could theoretically just melee everything to death without having to worry about it once you have this going. It's pretty OP, guys. Trust me, it's pretty OP. And then you get a plus 2% max health per second when shields are active. this effect doubles while shields are depleted. That is what's going to make this really interesting, and this is what's going to tie the whole build together and give us that synergy that we want with infinite damage and infinite shields. So let's talk about how you're going to be able to proc this. Basically, what you're going to want to do is that every single time that your shield breaks, you're going to get an increment of damage. So your shield breaks once, your increment of damage is going to go up one. You get your shield breaks twice, your increment damage is going to go another one. Theoretically speaking, for you to one-shot a boss, it's going to take at least 35 stacks of your shield breaking in order for you to one-shot him. It's between 35 to 40. It's all going to depend on the gun that you currently have equipped. If you want to use a hand cannon and want to be one-shotting everything, of course, you're going to want to stack it up a little bit more. But from what I've been able to test, once you get to 45, 48, around there, and you go a little bit higher, you're going to pretty much be one-shotting yourself. So I would leave it like in the 40s or 30s just to be on the safe side. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to break your shield on purpose. So every time you break your shield, you're going to be stacking up damage. So if you want to get to be able to one-shot the bosses and be able to one-shot everything in the world, try to get to 35 to 40 stacks per shield. Once your shield completely breaks, every single time your shield breaks, you're going to be getting an additional stack. So let's say you're playing around in the game and you have the 40 stacks and someone breaks your shield, that's going to be 41. It's going to even make you more powerful than you currently are, giving you unlimited damage and unlimited shield. Now, how are you going to be able to stack up the shield? Well, a gun that actually works pretty well to break your shields and it doesn't cost you so many damage, because on the skill tree we put resistance to shock, is the binary mocking cutsman. Now, this is going to be a really good weapon, because what this is going to allow you to do, it's going to allow you to break your shield and you're going to be able to stack up that shield to at least 35 to 40 without taking too much damage on your health or without killing yourself, because once you die, you automatically lose all the stacks. So you want to make sure you get those stacks completed to 35 to 40 so you could go and kill everything in Proven Grounds, Circle of Slaughter, anything high level content that you want to complete without having any difficulty. You're able to stack these up. And the shotgun I used to kill the boss was a deep dive face puncher. This is really cool because it gives us plus 60 melee damage. I know right now we're not meleeing it, but theoretically speaking, if we wanted to go around and melee every single ad without shooting, we would be able to do that, because not only are we getting the 300 stack from the shield plus the 60% melee damage from this weapon, and we're also getting the multiplier of the 182 times 7 damage. If we had one with a higher multiplier, it would take less stacks to actually kill an enemy. And that is how you go about one-shotting everything in the game. Like I said, I will have a flak build. I also will have a Singing build and a Namara build for the one-shot. So if you guys want to see that for whatever character, let's see who has the most votes for characters. If we have Amara, Sane, or Flak, let me know in the comments section down below. The character with the most votes or the most inputs will be featured next. Now, if you're trying to find another build like a Godmore build or an infinite ammo build or never die build, definitely check out our channel. We have tons of builds available for each individual character.